The galaxy is on fire. The Clone Wars have stretched across star systems, broken armies, and buried heroes. But the most dangerous battlefield is not on any map. Coruscant never sleeps. Its towers blaze with artificial light, even when the stars above go dark. From the Jedi Temple, Obi-Wan Kenobi stood at the tall, transparent steel window and watched the city planet hum, with life transports weaving between spires, Senate shuttles cutting clean lines across the orange sky. He looked calm. He was not calm. For weeks, something had been pulling at him, a quiet alarm somewhere deep in the Force. He had meditated on it, dismissed it, returned to it again. And tonight it had sharpened into something he could no longer ignore. Anakin. Not a vision, not a warning from the Council, just a feeling, raw and certain, the way the Force sometimes speaks, not in thunder, but in a whisper that refuses to stop. Obi-Wan turned from the window. He had reviewed everything in his mind, the private meetings between Anakin and Chancellor Palpatine, the ones Anakin mentioned too casually, too briefly, the Opera House visit, the late-night conversations in the Senate building that no Jedi had been invited to attend. Small things, individually, but together they built a picture that turned Obi-Wan's stomach cold. Palpatine was not just fond of Anakin. Palpatine was cultivating him. Every mentor, every kind word, every carefully placed secret shared between them, it was architecture. Someone was building something inside Anakin Skywalker, brick by quiet brick. And the Jedi Order had been too focused on the war to notice the construction happening right beneath their feet. I noticed, Obi-Wan thought. Perhaps too late, but not yet too late. He made his decision. He would not bring this to the Council first. He already knew what they would say. Observe. Report. Do not act without evidence, Master Kenobi. And by the time evidence arrived, clean, undeniable, the kind the Council required Anakin, would already be lost. No. He would go to Anakin directly. Tonight, he found him in the temple hangar, standing beside his starfighter, helmet under one arm, staring at nothing in particular. Anakin had that look, the one he wore when his mind was somewhere else entirely. Obi-Wan had seen it 1,000 times. He used to assume it meant Anakin was thinking about the war. Now he was not so sure. "You're not scheduled for a mission," Anakin turned. The guarded expression arrived a half-second too late to be convincing. "Couldn't sleep," he said simply. "You?" Obi-Wan stepped closer, keeping his voice even and low, the way he always did when the conversation mattered most. "I need you to come with me. Off Coruscant. Tonight." Anakin stared at him. The Council approved this? A pause. Honest. Deliberate. No. The silence between them was sharp as a blade. Anakin's jaw tightened. In his eyes, surprise, suspicion, and underneath both of those things, something that looked almost like relief. Almost. "Obi-Wan, what's going on?" "I'll explain everything once we're in hyperspace," Obi-Wan said quietly. "But I need you to trust me right now, the way I have always trusted you. No questions, not yet." For a long moment, Anakin did not move. The hangar hummed around them. A maintenance droid rolled past, oblivious. Somewhere above, Coruscant's endless night continued turning. Then, Anakin Skywalker put his helmet on and walked toward the ship. They cleared Coruscant's atmosphere without clearance codes, without informing the temple, without a word to the Chancellor's office, where at that exact moment a secure comlink sat waiting, already programmed with Anakin's frequency, already loaded with the next piece of a plan that had taken decades to build. The call Palpatine intended to make that night was never received. In a small, unremarkable freighter punching toward the edge of the outer rim, Obi-Wan Kenobi sat across from his former apprentice and began to tell him the truth. All of it. What Anakin heard in those next few hours would shatter everything he thought he knew about the man he had trusted most outside the Jedi Order. And when the freighter dropped out of hyperspace above a remote moon in the Lothal sector, sensors screaming, Republic destroyers already closing in, it became clear that leaving Coruscant quietly had not been quiet enough. Someone had been watching. Someone had always been watching. Some battles are fought with lightsabers. Some are fought with silence. This one begins with both. The moon had no name on any current Republic chart. Just a string of numbers in an old Outer Rim survey file. Cold coordinates, nobody checked anymore. Sparse forest, thin atmosphere. A single abandoned settlement, half swallowed by gray rock and climbing moss. Perfect. Obi-Wan set the freighter down in a natural hollow between two ridgelines, cut the engines, and listened. Wind, distant birds, nothing mechanical, nothing tracking. For now, he stepped outside and pulled his robe tighter against the chill. Behind him, he could hear Anakin moving through the ship restless, the way he always was when he had no mission to focus on, no enemy to face, no problem he could solve with speed or strength. "This is your plan?" Anakin called from the ramp, looking out across the gray-green landscape with undisguised skepticism. "We hide on a rock with no name?" "We stop," Obi-Wan said simply, "which is something neither of us has done in a very long time." Anakin stepped off the ramp and stood beside him. He looked tired. Not the tired that sleep fixes the other kind. The deep kind. The kind that builds up over years of carrying things you were never supposed to carry alone. Obi-Wan noticed. He always noticed. He had just never known how to reach through it before. The first night, they barely spoke. Anakin sat near a low fire Obi-Wan built outside the ship, staring into the flames with that faraway expression. Obi-Wan sat across from him and said nothing. He had learned long ago that pushing Anakin never worked. You had to wait. You had to give him space enough to come toward the truth on his own. So he waited. By the second hour, Anakin spoke. "He told me things," he said quietly. "Palpatine, things about the Force that the Council never taught me." "I know," Obi-Wan said. Anakin looked up sharply. "You know?" "I suspected, for longer than I admitted to myself." A pause. "Tell me what he said." What followed was an hour of careful, painful honesty. Anakin's voice low and halting at first, then steadier. He talked about the Opera House, about the legend of Darth Plagueis, about Palpatine's quiet insistence that the Jedi were keeping secrets from him, that the Council used him without respecting him, that only Palpatine truly understood what Anakin was capable of. Obi-Wan listened without interrupting. When Anakin finished, the fire had burned low. "He told you exactly what you were afraid of hearing," Obi-Wan said carefully. "And exactly what you most wanted to believe. That is not wisdom, Anakin. That is a trap built specifically for you." Silence. Then, quietly, "I know." Those two words landed between them like something fragile, being set down after being carried too far. Over the following days, something shifted. Without Coruscant's constant pressure, without Senate politics and war briefings and Palpatine's polished voice filling every quiet moment, Anakin began to surface, slowly, unevenly. Like a man waking from a fever that had lasted so long he had forgotten what healthy felt like. He meditated for the first time in months, not the forced, frustrated sessions in the temple genuine stillness. He sat on a flat rock above the hollow in the early morning, eyes closed, face turned toward the pale rising sun, and Obi-Wan watched from a distance without saying a word. The Force around Anakin felt different here, calmer, less like a storm, more like what it had always been meant to be, worse. Obi-Wan allowed himself, just briefly, to feel something close to hope. He should have been monitoring the sensors more carefully. On the third day, a faint signal pulse moved through the system, the kind of low-frequency sweep that standard Republic scanners would miss entirely. It lasted less than 2 seconds. It was gone before Obi-Wan even reached the cockpit, but it had been there. He stared at the readout for a long moment, jaw tight. Someone was running a grid search. Patient, methodical, professional. Not Republic military. The frequency signature was wrong. This was something else. Something quieter and considerably more dangerous. He thought of Palpatine. Of the vast machinery that served him in the shadows, the intelligence networks, the ISB predecessors, the agents who existed in no official file anywhere. They found the trajectory, Obi-Wan realized. Not our location, not yet, but the direction we traveled. It was enough. Given time, it would be more than enough. He walked back to where Anakin was working on the freighter's motivator, coupling hands deep in the mechanics, the way he always found comfort in fixing things. "How much longer do we have here?" Anakin asked without looking up. He had felt it too. Of course he had. "One more night," Obi-Wan said. Anakin nodded slowly, set down his tools, looked up at the empty sky with an expression that was equal parts clarity and grief. The face of a man who had finally begun to find solid ground, being told the ground was already moving. Then what? Obi-Wan looked at the horizon. The pale sun was beginning to set, painting the gray rock gold. "Then we stop running," he said quietly, "and we start deciding who we are willing to trust." What neither of them knew as the last light faded over that nameless moon was that 40 light-years away, a black-hulled ship had just dropped out of hyperspace. No Republic markings, no transponder signal. And aboard it, a figure Anakin Skywalker had never met, but whose name Obi-Wan Kenobi knew from the darkest intelligence briefings of the Clone Wars. Palpatine had not sent soldiers. He had sent something. Power does not panic. It recalculates. And Chief Palpatine had been recalculating since the moment Anakin's signal vanished from Coruscant. The Chancellor's private office was still in the hours before dawn. No aides, no guards inside the room. Just Palpatine seated behind his desk, fingers laced together, yellow eyes moving slowly across the intelligence report in front of him. 2 Jedi. 1 unregistered freighter. Departed without council clearance or Senate notification. Last confirmed trajectory, outer rim. Destination, unknown. He read it twice, then he set it down and smiled. Not the warm, practiced smile he wore for senators and holonet cameras. The other one. The real one. The one that only existed in rooms where nobody was watching. So, he thought. Obi-Wan finally moved. He had always known this moment was a possibility. Every long game carries its risks, pieces that develop unexpected moves, variables that refuse to stay predictable. Obi-Wan Kenobi had been that variable for years. Perceptive enough to sense something was wrong, principled enough to act on it, and just stubborn enough to do it badly impulsively, without backup, without a plan that could actually succeed against the full weight of what Palpatine had built. He has taken my investment, Palpatine reflected, and walked out of the building with it. That could not be allowed to stand. By dawn, the machinery was already moving. Palpatine did not raise his voice. He never needed to. He simply made 3 calls, quiet, precise, delivered in that measured tone that made every order sound like reluctant necessity rather than calculated design. The first call went to Vice Chancellor Mas Amedda, a private briefing, carefully framed concerns about General Skywalker's recent psychological stability. References to stress indicators flagged by temple healers, genuine reports, pulled from actual records, stripped of context, and reframed with surgical precision. The second call went to the head of the Senate Guard. Authorization for a recovery operation. Classification level, maximum. Public justification, security risk to the Chancellor's person, based on intercepted communications that conveniently only Palpatine's office had access to. The third call was the one that mattered most. It went to a man whose name appeared in no Senate record, a specialist. The same figure whose black-holed ship had already dropped out of hyperspace 40 light-years from that nameless moon. "He may be with Kenobi," Palpatine said. A pause on the other end. Then, does that change the parameters? "It complicates them," Palpatine said simply. "Skywalker is to be returned. Kenobi." Another pause. "Deliberate is a secondary consideration. Use your judgment." By mid-morning, the Senate floor was burning. Not literally, but the words coming from Palpatine's podium carried the same heat. He stood before the assembled representatives with grief on his face and iron in his voice, painting Anakin Skywalker in shades that were almost entirely fiction constructed from half-truths, manipulated records, and the quiet suggestion that a Jedi of Skywalker's power, operating without oversight, represented an existential threat to Republic stability. He never once raised his voice. He never needed to. Senator after senator shifted in their seat. Whispers moved through the chamber like a current. By the time Palpatine finished speaking, the resolution was already written, already circulating, already gathering signatures. Declared a risk to Republic security. To be detained and returned to Coruscant for evaluation, by any means necessary. 4 words buried inside a legal resolution. By any means necessary. In the Jedi Temple, Master Mace Windu stood before the council chamber window and read the Senate notification twice. Then he set it down on the table with a careful, controlled movement that contained an enormous amount of anger. "They have moved against one of our own," said Master Ki-Adi-Mundi quietly. "Through civilian authority. Palpatine has moved," Windu said. "Let us be precise about who made this decision." The room went silent. They all felt it, the shift. The moment a suspicion became something harder and more dangerous. For years, the council had watched Palpatine with careful eyes and said nothing publicly. Now, the Chancellor had just declared a Jedi General a fugitive. The political ground had moved beneath everyone's feet in a single morning. "We need to find Kenobi," said Master Yoda, his voice low and heavy with something that was not quite worry and not quite grief. "Before the guard does. Before the other one does," Windu corrected. Another silence. Deeper this time. Because everyone in that room knew there was a second hunter in the field. And unlike the Senate guard, that one did not bring people back alive, if bringing them back alive created complications on the nameless moon. Neither Obi-Wan nor Anakin knew any of this yet. Anakin was sitting on his flat rock above the hollow, watching the morning light come up slow and gold across the ridgeline. His breathing was even. His mind was quieter than it had been in years. For just a few more hours, he was still free of all of it. The last peaceful moment, as it would later be remembered, before everything accelerated. Because 40 light years away, the black-hulled ship had finished its grid calculation, and it had found them. The hunter had a precise set of coordinates now, and a 12-hour flight window before the Senate guard arrived to complicate things. He preferred to work without complications. There are things the Force cannot prepare you for, not combat, not loss, not even death. Sometimes, it is simply the truth, spoken plainly by someone you love. It started with a name, not spoken dramatically, not confessed under pressure. It came out quietly, almost accidentally, the way the most important things usually do. They were running a system diagnostic on the freighter's long-range sensors, both of them focused on the readout, voices low and technical when Anakin said it. "Padmé needs to know I'm alive." He said it the way you say something you have been holding back so long that the muscles keeping it in simply give out. No buildup, no preparation. Just those 6 words, dropped into the middle of a sensor diagnostic like a stone dropped into still water.